Hello?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Hello? Are you there?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Be Sober podcast.
That was quite funny. Why do you always say welcome to the Be Sober podcast like you're going to say something else and then you don't?
Because my mind goes blank every time, because every single time I think, shit, I don't know the episode or the series again. So then I end it, which then does put you in a bit of a like, oh my God, it's to me already. So I am sorry about that. But I don't have
But I don't give a shit.
I don't have anything else to say.
Well, I am sorry about that, but it's tough shit, to be honest with you, Alex, because I don't actually know what episode or season we're on. 14-7, I'm going to say. All I know is I'm ready for a break.
We're just making numbers up, aren't we?
I reckon I might have pitched that right. 14-7, I reckon.
Do we care though?
No, not really.
That's what I mean. This is what goes on in my head while I'm saying welcome to the Be Sober podcast. I think, I don't know what series it is. I don't know what episode. Nobody cares anyway what it is.
But they might.
But all this is going on and then I've stopped talking and not realised.
Yeah, because you're still just thinking it. But the way you do it is you go, hi, everybody. Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. And welcome to the Be Sober podcast. That's how you say it. It sounds like there's more.
Well, there isn't. Well, there is. The rest of the podcast. Let's get in. Let's dive right in.
Oh, right.
We got some good feedback on our podcast about the vodka pizza and Eurovision.
Yeah, but you know why? Because this isn't probably the right time to say this now. Sorry. But
no, it isn't. It
isn't. I think it's because it's just us, is what I was going to say. Like you say, people like it when it's just us talking a load of bollocks.
They do, honestly.
We have got a guest on today.
It really isn't the right time to say it because we're going to be introducing our guest really shortly, which I am actually really happy to have on. And I cannot believe it has taken us so long to have her on.
I can believe it not because of her. I can believe it because we say we're going to do something and then we get sidetracked.
Yeah, or we forget people. What we need is people to come to us and say, can I be on your podcast? And then we go, oh yeah, and then we'll send a date. But if they say, can I be on your podcast? And then we go, oh yeah, no.
Yeah, we go, oh yeah, you can be on at some point.
Yeah, then we never do anything. But you need to literally email and say, I want to be on it.
I want to be on your podcast. Well, you can be.
Yeah. Well,
if you're not boring.
but yeah, it's I love the ones. I do love the ones where it's me and you, but I also love the ones like today where it's members of Be Sober. Because
on that note, I'm just going to let her in because I don't think we've got much to say, have we?
Oh, no.
Oh, have we?
Well, no.
Have we? She's 4 minutes early. We're right. Have you got stuff to
say? No, it's too much pressure. I don't like it.
Well, maybe it's all going on in your head and we've just got to wait and wonder whether it's coming out.
I might have had things to say. It doesn't matter now.
But have you got anything you want to say?
No, this put too much pressure. Like, obviously, we've not both got things that you want to say. Is that not why we do a podcast?
Okay. Let me think about what I want to say, right? So I'm going to say what I've already said because...
Nobody cares.
I'm going to say what I've already said, but on a podcast that maybe not going out right now. So I'm going to tell you about the incident on Friday when I took my mum to the monastery to the country night.
Oh yeah, you can tell everyone because you've already told me and I can't pretend that I've heard it before and like
I'll tell everyone else. Lisa knows she's bored. She doesn't care. Yeah. Right. On the weekend on Friday, so we're having photographs at the monastery and I kicked over, which is not unlike me at all because I'm really clumsy. I kicked over my mum's and auntie's full bottle of Prosecco. Sorry, my mum's and cousins it was. Full bottle
of Prosecco. I've got something to say actually after you. Go on.
Oh, good. Nobody cares. And in the panic of knocking it over, I grabbed it and picked it up, and I got Prosecco all over my hand, which in the past I would have definitely just like shook. Maybe if there was a bit dripping, I might have just licked it off because I'm gross.
Oh, you're such
I would have done. That is me being honest. I do it if I spill hot chocolate on myself or whatever. I just go like that and then wipe it on myself. But I couldn't bring myself to do anything with this Prosecco hand. It was just there, air drying, stinking. I didn't know what to do.
Do you know what?
It goes, it stinks. What do I do? What if I accidentally put it in my mouth? Oh my God. What if anyone thinks I've been drinking? So I just did this weird shaky hand thing and kept sniffing it all night to check if it had gone.
Do you know what? This is not what I was going to say, but you so reminded me of the time that I accidentally ate cat poo.
Go on.
I was trying to Rob's families the other day and they were all talking poo stories. And then they were like, do you have one? I was like, oh, you do actually. And this for the what? So it's come out twice in the last like couple of weeks. But when I was younger, we lived just up the road from where I do now, and I was having a Boost bar. And
I know this story. I'll not pretend. Tell everyone else.
And I had a little kitten called George, weirdly. But yeah, I had a little kitten and he'd been on me. Anyway, I was eating this Boost bar and I looked down and I dribbled all Boost bar down my t-shirt. So I kind of went like that to scrape it off with my finger and lick it. And then I was like, that is not Boost bar. Like Boost bars, if you've ever had one, they don't even melt.
Oh, they don't even drip, do they?
They're not that kind of melty chocolate, are they? But yeah, I accidentally ate. My mum laughed her head off. She found it absolutely hilarious that I'd ate this cat poo. But yeah,
do you know Sam did it with Abel?
Lick it off. I was thinking that's disgusting. But in my head, I wonder if that's why, because I associated with
yeah, probably. Sam did it with Abel. You know, like Abel was eating a chocolate biscuit and Sam's dead gross anyway. Like, obviously, he's not my older two children's father biologically. But even when they were little, like, he could get their ice creams and lick round the cone after they'd had it. I couldn't even do that as their mother. Like,
yeah, stuff like that don't really bother me, actually. I'm not.
Yeah, so I couldn't even do it. But with Abel came toddling over after eating a chocolate biscuit and put his fingers out to show Sam. And Sam was like, oh, chocolate biscuit, and licked them all. But he was actually showing Sam that he'd had his hand in his nappy.
No.
Yeah, poo fingers.
That's why
you disappeared.
Told me that.
I think it's when you turned away from your mic. Then you must have the sensitivity on lower summit not to pick up background noise.
Yeah, I have actually, because I had a proper posh podcast to do.
Oh, not like this one, eh?
No, I had to sit still and everything.
You want to tell us the thing you weren't going to tell us, or shall I let Crystal?
No, it's all right. Let her in. Otherwise, she'll be here.
She'll disappear.
Yeah,
she won't be here. She'll be like, oh, what are these two on this like second-rate podcast that I'm doing?
I know. So we are welcoming our lovely Be Sober yoga teacher, Crystal, into the Zoom room. That's a beautiful picture, and it looks so fresh and lovely.
I didn't even get that picture, so how did you know that?
Hello.
Hi, Crystal. Oh, you've not got any sound. Oh, hold on a minute. We're having a moment.
We knew you were happy though.
There we go. That's
the minute. Hear me?
Yeah.
Classic. How are you both?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
How are you doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, we're really excited.
Sorry it's took so long.
I know. It's daft. I'm excited.
We just said before, we was like, people need to literally tell us, I am coming on your podcast. Otherwise, we'll say, yeah, we'll do that. And then it never happens because like, it's been ages now. How long now have you been doing yoga for Be Sober?
Yeah, well over a year. I remember coming back from my yoga teacher training so ballsy, and I was just like, I love you guys. I want to work for you. Here's why. And you were like, yeah, all right. And I was like, oh my God.
That's what people have to do, Crystal. They just have to go, I want to do this. And we go, yeah, all right. We're not even that difficult to please.
No. If you don't ask, you don't get.
We are. And I remember actually when you came along and I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this would be perfect. So
I put together a little presentation, everything.
Oh, it was so good, so professional.
I remember Lisa coming to me and saying, I have just found the most incredible yoga teacher for Be Sober.
Yeah.
And that's how she described you, Crystal. And then we got to meet you last year.
That was amazing, wasn't it? That was
and
such
then
a
never
good
spoke
festival.
since. We just leave you to it, don't we? See you later.
You do, but that's the best type of relationship, right? When it's trusted and we just allow each other to crack on.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk a bit then about you doing yoga and just coming back off your yoga training, because you did do a very professional presentation. Is that because you used to be more in the corporate world, do you think, and you've kind of joined them
100%.
together?
Yeah, it was like, I need to come up with this pitch and I need to go in all guns blazing. I'm a lot more in my feminine now. Yeah, we'll come on to talk a little bit about that, which is exciting. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys know what it's like. My sober journey was a wild one, probably the hardest and the most amazing at the same time. And a huge part of that really was stepping into my authenticity. Once you stop drinking, it's nearly 4 years now, but within the first year, I really started to delve a little bit deeper into, why I was stuck in the same cycles of drinking and toxic behavior, and why I felt the way I did, which was just miserable, basically.
Yeah. Did you think you were miserable at the time?
I think it got to a point because I started drinking when I was like 14, and then that carried through for like more than 10 years. And then once I'd stopped, uni, I'd gone into the corporate world and continued on the same trajectory and kind of thought, okay, I think this actually might be a bit problematic because I'm, a big girl. I've got my big girl job and I've got everything that I wanted in life. And yet I'm still stuck in these same patterns. And when I then started therapy, it wasn't until about 2 years in when my third therapist at the time said, I think maybe we should start to explore your relationship with alcohol. And I was like, I mean, we can, but why? This is so normal. Yeah, she was like, well, maybe we can try and moderate. And I was like, well, I can moderate. Yeah, that's fine. So then again, it was just the same cycles, proving myself time and time again that I could not moderate. If it wasn't the drink, it was the drugs. If it wasn't the drugs, it was just the drink. But again, just continuing to follow into the same cycles of behavior and patterns. So when I, finally sort of had enough, that's when the real sort of journey began, transitioning from corporate, high stress, Crystal, newly sober and just a little bit lost into, where I am now.
It's really interesting that. And so did you do yoga before? Did you kind of do that as a practice?
No, it's actually crazy. So when I decided to do my yoga teacher training, I'd literally only just started practicing yoga. I was a beginner. Yeah. I eventually got signed off work where I was just so dysregulated. I was pushing myself beyond my limits physically. I was really stuck in the stress response. Yes, I'd stopped drinking, but I was still really, really miserable. And that was manifesting in anxiety, depression, and then eventually burnout. So I was signed off for 4 months and I started working with a holistic coach who really helped me to uncover, why I was stuck in those cycles. And a lot of it, as always, goes down to, how we were brought up and our childhood experiences and the stories that we've told ourselves.
Can I just ask them, what made you choose, I can't even say it, and holistic. I literally work with holistic all of the time.
It's in the title. It's in the title of a world-renowned business, just so you know. You can't say holistic today.
I went into overwhelm with An and A and A. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
What is it?
So what made you decide to go to
one of those coaches?
Coach.
So she was
other coach.
Yeah, so she was a gut health coach. So I'd always struggled with IBS basically. And then I came to understand that, IBS is really just a name for what they call when they just don't know what the hell is going on. But the mind-gut connection is just like no other, right? It cannot be understated. And more science is coming out that, 80% of our serotonin, which is the happy hormone, is produced in our gut. So we started, working on, it wasn't just diet and what I was eating, but it was how I was living, what my routine was, what my rituals were, what were the limiting beliefs, all of that stuff. And anyway, I was very much in my masculine, like similar to maybe what I was mentioning at the start.
I want to interrupt again. I'm sorry. To explain in your masculine as you do this. And okay.
Okay, yeah. So if you think about yourself as a soul or as a body, we have two sides to us, right? And everybody has these. It's the masculine and it's the feminine. So an energy body has two sides. You might lean a little bit more into one side than the other. And that might manifest in, for example, me being in my masculine is like you're very structured, you're very routine, everything is logical. So the emotional side of you, the intuitive, the creative is kind of put to a side. And I was very much caught in that survival mode of keep on going, don't listen to your body,
I'm still in it.
I'm laughing here, Crystal, because I'm looking at Alex and she's thinking, oh, yeah, I'm very much in my masculine.
I'm practically a bloke.
But that is okay. Like, one is always going to be more dominant. It's only when and if we decide to not listen to the other side is when it becomes a problem. So for me, for example, my feminine side, which is like the yin, the creative, the nurturing, the intuition, the listening to yourself, the nourishment of yourself and the people around you. It's all about sort of giving, right? Really, I lost that completely on my journey. And when I started to lean into my feminine, it's when the real work started. So when I'm talking about exercise, I was in my masculine. I wanted like high energy, weights training, circuits. I wanted everything to be, oh, she's laughing again. I wanted it all.
Else? So I'm so sorry, Crystal, because I want to go on with this like a little bit more and find out. And I feel like I'm interrupting to make it.
No, please do.
Interrupting.
Well, I have to do it. But I'm just wondering if that's why Alex and I work so well together.
Because I'm the man and you're the woman. We're practically married.
Literally like yin and yang. Do you know what I mean? And it's probably that Alex is a little bit more in her masculine side and I'm a little bit more in my feminine side. And when we're not with each, we've kind of allowed them parts to play out when we do what we do together. Do you know what I mean? So when we're not together, we've got to learn to kind of tap into the other sides.
That's why everybody thinks we're a couple.
So much. I don't know why. I'm so excited that we've found something else out.
Isn't it? It's why people think we're a couple.
Yeah, they do. They always think she's the more masculine one.
And yeah, like you said, like you can't have one without the other. Yeah. So each of us have it within us, but each partnership also has it, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean like if you're a man, you're in your masculine. Like there's a lot of relationships out there, like just talking about like heteronormative relationships where, it's the other way around. As a woman, if you identify as a woman, you might actually be more in your masculine and vice versa. So for me, anyway, I was stuck in masculine. And don't forget as well, like we live in a patriarchal society. So not to go off on one, but society teaches us to be in our masculine, right? And that is why so many women are suffering, not just from autoimmune conditions, but also from burnout. Like if you ask anyone what they need, it's rest. And that's because we're not listening to our bodies because we're so disconnected from them. And I think that was very much what was going on for me. So eventually I was signed off because I was fighting against the tide of what my body was telling me, which was to slow down. When I started working with this holistic coach, she said, maybe just try 10 minutes of yoga. And I said, I don't want it. I'm not interested. I'd like the fast paced. I like to feel like I really pushed myself. I like the pain. And she said, just try. And then from that moment, I thought, oh my God, there's another way. I feel regulated. I feel calm. I feel in my body. I feel connected. And from that moment on, it just grew. Yeah, I started really stepping into my healing journey. my intuition, leaning into really, what we're talking about, your feminine, and how important it is to lean into what it is that you need and how you can honor that. And for me, it was rest. and burnt myself to a crisp.
Oh, bless you. I want to go back. It goes really well with the beginning of our podcast, but I want to just pick up on what you said about IBS before. So that was something that
I'm thinking about the poo again.
Yeah. You'll know when you listen back to this, you'll know why it goes so well with the beginning.
It took me a second, then I was going out.
Yeah, but when I was at quite a sad state, I had really bad IBS, and when I look back now, I was so dysregulated, and I was like in burnout, I suppose, but I was drinking a lot more back then. I have not had IBS or suffered with it for about 8-9 years now, and I just thought it was a thing that I'd have forever, that it was an actual, I've got IBS, but like you said, it's just a name really for something when they don't know what it is. And when you look at the whole picture, it makes so much sense, doesn't it? So what I wanted to pick up on that is if anybody's listening and they've got IBS, and have a look at the whole kind of picture.
It's true. They talk about having an upset tummy, like, I've got an upset tummy when you're nervous, or I've got butterflies in my stomach, or even everything, even right down to things like autism, they've linked to gut bacteria now. It's like, it is everything. Yeah, it's huge. Like, people with autism actually tend to suffer more with gut problems than people without.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. And it's women. Making me laugh because now I realise that Alex has been looking into autism.
Do you know why I knew that? No, I knew that from that's weird. I have actually been looking into autism.
Yeah.
No, I knew that from when I did the Andrew Wakefield study years ago, where he got in trouble for only doing a sample size of the MMR vaccine on 10 or so kids. And
I don't even know who that is.
He's the guy that developed he's not. He's the guy that developed research against the MMR vaccine because he said that it caused autism, but he got absolutely slated because they said his sample size wasn't big enough. But he actually did find a link between gut bacteria and autism, and he said that introducing the vaccine was causing a problem. Whether or not that's true is yet to be seen, but definitely there's a link between the gut and the brain. So I knew that.
I mean, that is all of it. And a lot of the work that I was doing with this gut coach wasn't like what I was eating, right? So in the West, like, you go to the doctors and you say, oh, I've got bloated or I'm suffering with constipation. Okay, well, here's the FODMAP diet and this is what you need to do. It's that does not work. Even if you have a dysregulated nervous system, your body physically cannot digest even the simplest of food, whether it's fiber, whether it's, whole foods. And so really what we need to be talking about is nervous system regulation. How are we regulating ourselves? Like, Lisa, what you said about when you were going through that tough time, when you were feeling really dysregulated, is when those symptoms were manifesting. And when you started to really work on regulating your nervous system, that's when the real change started. So within this coaching program, this container, what we were doing is working on that foundation, complete nervous system reset. And like, when I talk about the nervous system, it's basically a bodily function that runs on internal and external stimuli that then runs our bodily functions, right? So you've probably heard of being stuck in the stress response, i.e. fight or flight, or the rest and digest. It's literally called rest and digest. And when your body feels like there's no immediate threat around, your body's able to operate how it's meant to operate. So like your digestive system, for example, operates normally. Your hormonal system also operates normally. I mean, this is why women have so many irregular periods and problems now with their cycles. And it's because, so many of us are stuck in the stress response in today's modern society. So anyway, that is where it all started. So the gut health stuff, holistic health, started my healing journey, nervous system regulation. And then from then, I was just really inspired. I, was able to really tap into and step into my authenticity, really think about what I wanted. And what I was realizing is I was creating a life that I thought I wanted and what I thought was successful, the corporate ladder, the amazing partner, the mortgage. And ultimately, none of it is what I wanted. I wanted to travel and I wanted to just figure it all out. So that's what I did. And that's when the journey started.
That's amazing. So what came first, sobriety or yoga?
Sobriety.
Sobriety.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It just opens up so many doors for you, doesn't it? Sobriety.
Yeah.
Like, you're able to really explore, who you are. It's like peeling back all the layers, and you get to almost like tap into the child, the child in you. It's okay. It's following your joy. It's all this amazing time that you've got on your hands to figure it all out.
At the beginning, isn't it? Like, I always think about sobriety as like, it's not that it makes you do all these weird things, although everybody who gets sober seems to go off on this kind of little journey of their own, this little holistic journey. But what it does is it takes away the thing that makes you feel okay. And I'll explain, like when you're drinking, if you're an anxious person, the alcohol fools you into thinking that you're not anxious. If you're a tired person, the alcohol fools you into making you think you've got energy. So all of these things, when you take the alcohol away, you start to feel those things for real, and you have no choice but to look for a way of solving the problem, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. It's getting to the root of it. It's getting to the root and understanding, why you might feel tired, or why, you're having trouble digesting your food, why you feel anxious, and really, working on the roots.
I wonder if it's the other way around as well. I wonder if some people have to tap into, well, they do. I've just answered my own question. Tap into the masculine. People become more assertive or more demanding of their needs. That's kind of your masculine, isn't it?
I think you definitely become more boundaried. Yeah. So there's been parts when I've had to really lean on my masculine energy, and it's something that I've really worked on recently. Have you read Sunshine, Warm, Sober? It's like the follow-on.
I've not read. It's Catherine Gray, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've not read it.
But she talks a lot about. I can't remember what year it's from. Maybe when you're 3 years and above sober, that might be wrong. But it is about, okay, you're sober, you've kind of got through life, you've done all the firsts, and now what? And a lot of that comes into, your boundaries and what you'll put up with in life and what you won't. You won't. And the more you step into your authenticity, the stronger you are in actually asking what you need from life and saying no.
What do you think stepping into your authenticity is? Because that's kind of another buzz phrase that's knocked around.
Yeah, I would say that it's the truest form of us, right? So if you're thinking about it in a spiritual sense, it's this idea that we have a higher self, and that is the best possible version of you. So if you were to like close your eyes now and imagine, the best possible version of you, what they would look like, what they would do each day, how they would talk about themselves, how they would treat others, what they would do like day to day, what job they would have, all of those things. And knowing that and stepping into that version of you is possible. What pulls us back is the fear and the limiting beliefs and the stories that we tell ourselves. And a lot of that
trauma as well, childhood trauma.
Oh, massive. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
And it looks different for everybody, doesn't it? Because I do, it's quite interesting when you're talking about being stuck in the stress response. So I've done a stress workshop for a few years, and one of the things is activating your parasympathetic nervous system. And we hear that all over Instagram now. But it basically means learning how to get out of the stress response when you need to do. Not constantly being in a place where you're fighting a bear when a bear doesn't exist. It's that idea, isn't it? That the body doesn't actually know the difference between being in a traffic jam and being attacked by a lion. So we because of modern society, that's what we're heightened to it. And it looks different for everybody. So for you, it's yoga. For somebody else, it might be music. I'm trying to find my feminine here. I'm trying to prove I've got one. For someone, it might be music. For someone else, it might be poetry. It's not always the same thing, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. And, following your joy is a really big one, like living in alignment with your higher self. And I think letting go of all of, those stories and those limiting beliefs. How many times a day do you have a conversation with someone and they'll say, oh, I can't do that, or I couldn't wear that, or you compliment them, or no, I don't. And it's like all of us have this fundamental belief that we are not worthy and that we are not enough. And even as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I already know I can do my absolute hardest for when and if, I'm granted to have children. They are going to be traumatized. Like, there is going to be an element of trauma within everybody's life to some degree. And if you ask anyone, it is this idea of not feeling worthy and not feeling enough. And those stories will play out time and time again until we break those cycles, and they'll manifest in cycles of unhelpful behavior like addiction, toxic relationships, until again we break those patterns. So things like you said, like the piano, for me it's yoga, like for Lisa it's probably sound and Reiki. Like we all have those different things that we can do that is living in alignment with our highest and best, and not that wounded version of ourselves that's holding us back from living authentically.
I love that when you were telling us then about the authentic self, and I literally could visualize it. It's made me think, actually, for my next sound bath, I'm going to do a meditation, I think, around finding your authentic self, and do it. I'm going to actually rewind.
Save it for me.
What you said there. Because I fully imagined it, like when I was saying it then and I was looking up, and I don't know why, but I always have this vision of myself. I'm in a field and I'm always swirling with a dress on. That is when I look back and see, like, that must make me happy, just being in a field, swirling around with a flowy dress on. So I really want to tap into that. But I want to ask you, Crystal, going from corporate to something like you're doing now, how did you find that? And how did people around you find it? Because it's so different, and the conversations you're having with people now must be so different. Did you find it difficult to kind of, like, did you have imposter syndrome about it, and how have you dealt with it?
Yeah, massively. I mean, when I first quit my job, I think my mum was very much like, yes, do it. This is amazing. My dad was very much, your parents' role and the people around you is for them to keep you safe, right? And sometimes that means playing small. So I understood my dad's hesitations, but then when I got back and started building the career, he said, you know what, I really understand it and I see you, which was really validating, actually, to hear that. But for me, I think in a way, it was never a waste of time, my corporate, because a lot of the skills lended me to where I am now, that really ballsy side of me that, reached out to you guys, for example, and was right, this is what I want and this is why we should work together. Like, that comes from all of those skills that I learned that I can then transfer forward. And so, yeah, it definitely was hard in the beginning, and it's still bloody hard. Things like, not knowing how much money you're going to make each month can be really stressful. It's a lot of insecurity. And I think have to really trust it.
Your identity sometimes gets wrapped up in your past life as well. So I've talked about this before. When I came out of teaching to go into basically becoming a personal trainer, there was this whole part of me that had this snobby idea of, oh my God, but I'm not using my degree, and I could not let it go. It was ages before I could let that go. I got the degree. The degree isn't me. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
100%
define me.
Yeah, and honestly, I do genuinely feel like we all have a path and we all have a divine time in life, and you needed to do that degree to be where you are now. And it's the same with me.
Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly where you're meant to be in exactly the right time, and you just have to trust that.
I really believe that, and I really believe, Crystal, that you are where you are meant to be and doing the things that you do are just like the feedback that we get from the yoga sessions that you just do for Be Sober is absolutely incredible. And I've been to a few of them earlier on. It's just really bad timing for me, which is so unfortunate. But everybody absolutely loves it. And it seems you're such a natural, and you just help people feel calmer and amazing. That must feel really, really good to you. Thank you. Able to kind of create that space for people.
Yeah, it does. This is the reason. It's probably the same with your story. Like, there's a reason why I fell in love with yoga and meditation and sound and providing retreat experiences and opportunities for people to find that calm and that sense of community and connection, and paying that forward and helping others. Yeah, it's massively rewarding.
So let's talk about that then, because you have now created something called Sober Flow. Is that right? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that and how it kind of came to life?
Yeah, sure. It was a really organic process. Like, when I first got back from my yoga teacher training, it was sort of like, oh, do I want to bring the sober stuff in? It's not my full story. You know, it's not, yeah, it's a part of me, but it's not my identity. And the more and more I was leaning into it, the more I came to realize there was a desperate need for opportunities for people in the sober and sober curious space in Kent to come together. So that's when, you know, the partnership and collaboration with you came about. I am Be Sober's Kent ambassador, so providing 3 opportunities for people to come together to meet and ultimately provide each other with support and accountability. So yeah, slowly, I then put on my first sober and sober curious event. It was beach yoga and a sauna and a cold plunge, and that sold out. Like, it was my fastest selling.
Surprised.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was called Soulful Sober Sundays, and yeah, it sold out really quick. It was the fastest selling event that I've done. Repeated that a few times, and I thought, okay, I would love to now extend this into retreat experiences. So then I started collaborating with local practitioners, and a lot of it was just playing around and helping other people by showing them different methods and, you know, holistic tools that I have used in my journey. So, for example, I partnered with a breathwork facilitator. I did some work, you know, in Reiki myself, and really introducing all of these different kind of methodologies, I suppose, within the retreat experience for sober and sober curious people. And then, yeah, Sober Flow was born. So Sober Flow in its entirety is kind of, it's got 3 arms. The first is community. So we have a free WhatsApp community providing free support. Within that, you've got different areas in Kent. People are always meeting up and doing sort of different bits and bobs, different support groups. We do weekly intention setting, things like that, which is amazing. And then we've got retreats, so retreat experiences. We've been doing sober circles and quarterly retreats. And then the last one, which I am launching actually next month, is the coaching program. So I've just launched a 90-day coaching program. It's Awaken and Thrive, and it's all around basically what I wish I had in the first 90 days. You know, when it's like, when it takes you a couple of years to really find your feet, you know, and really what I'm doing is kind of creating a bite-size 3-step method to helping other people do the same, but in 90 days. So yeah, a lot of it is about uncovering the foundations, understanding what your triggers are and why you drink, the stories we tell ourselves, uncovering those, rewiring your subconscious mind, stepping into your feminine and away from your masculine, or vice versa. Embodiment practices, nervous system reset, all that good stuff.
It's so exciting. We were dead excited as well to see your story in the magazine. We've got, I know Kim, our contact, is just such an amazing lady. And what I love about her, she's so for anybody that doesn't know, Kim is a journalist, and she's always kind of messaging saying, do you have any sober stories, or is there anybody that would love to share? And what I love is she's sober herself. So she's one of the very, very few, or the only one I know, journalists that loves to get stories out there that are positive and inspiring and not necessarily all about the rock bottom. So when we got you to
Prima, wasn't it?
Yeah,
she did Prima for us.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. But yeah, that was really nice. So did you get any feedback from that? What were people thinking?
From the magazine?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I read it, I loved it, I was absolutely over the moon. When I got the message to say that it was on the shelves, I went straight to the newsagents. It was like, oh my god, it's like so weird
it was
seeing yourself in print.
When you got the magazine, did you kind of open it and say, that's me?
Yeah, I did. And I went to my local coffee shop. I was like, look, guys. And then the coffee shop owner was like, should we do a photo shoot on the beach? And I was like, yeah, come then. So she came along with me and took some photos of me holding it like it was my prom. I felt so proud.
It's such a big thing, I think, to put your story out there, Crystal. I think it's a really, really brave thing to do. What I do want to talk about as well is our Be Wild and what happened there, because when we was at the London Be Wild last year and we had the sharing circle, when you got up, it was one of the
my God,
like favourite moments of the weekend. I'm not going to lie. Could you please just tell us about that moment and what you did?
My God, I actually forgot about that, Lisa. I was like looking at you like, what were you about to say?
Good. It was so good.
Yeah, so it was like, what was the ask? It was like, share something, right? Was it like a talent show?
No, you could share anything you wanted. So every year we do this thing and it's like a sharing circle, but you don't have to sit and like go, hi, I'm such a body. It can be share a poem. It can be share a dance. It can be share a song.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I've always struggled. Actually, I don't so much anymore, which is nice. That's a sign of growth. But there's certain songs that I like couldn't listen to in my early sobriety because it reminded me of all the benders that I would be on whilst listening to them on repeat and, you know, dancing on top of tables and getting chucked out of bars and causing all sorts of trouble. And one of those songs was Candy Staten, Young Hearts Run Free. So it's like, Young Hearts Run Free. I still love that song. So anyway, I decided, God knows what got into me, must have been all the Kundalini, to get up and perform it basically. And I got backup singers and I got, fans, like people pretending to be fans and backup dancers, and everyone was stood up, and we all performed it together, didn't we? We had the music on in the background. I had a remote control for a microphone. God knows what got into me, but it was all about rewriting history and this idea that, you know, you are able to rewrite history. And now when I listen to that song, I look back and smile. I haven't heard it in a while, actually. I need to put that on.
I might listen to it after this because
I hear that song, genuinely, I picture that moment on Being Wild now.
It was good fun. It was really emotional, wasn't it? There was a lot of tears and even I felt really emotional. It was brilliant. A real amazing experience. And what a joy to be around so many sober people. Wow. And that's what this is all about, right? It's like connection and community and raising the voice of the sober space. Like you said, Lisa, it has to be, you know, something that's positive and something that's celebrated and not frowned upon or taboo at all, because we all suffer. We all have our demons, and the more open we are and vulnerable, then, you know, even if it helps one person, then we're making a difference.
Definitely. I loved that moment so much. Honestly, I think I fell in love with you that day.
She another one of your heroes now, Lace?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I just thought it was so brave and inspiring. And I love the whole idea about it, like recreating a memory. Do you know what I mean?
We kept looking at each other going,
for me, just to see like you up there with that remote control in your hand, like karaoke,
the flower crown on.
Yeah, but I could see like
fun,
I suppose your authentic self. Do you know what I mean? Just doing it, and then all our members kind of supporting, and to have that life and spirit in a room full of sober people that once I genuinely believed would be a boring place to sit. Do you know what I mean? To see that come to life is just so magical, and I loved it. I loved it. And you saying, I don't really remember that. It just shows the impact we have on people without realising sometimes as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You touched on travel a minute ago. You said that you've started to travel since you got sober, I think you said that.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Where have you been and what do you do?
Yeah, so again, it is about leaning into your joy. Travel and new experiences is something I always loved, but cannot really remember it. Like, it's mad. I'm a yoga teacher. I've been to India 3 times, but all 3 times I was too busy partying in like Goa and the Himalayas to remember any of it, you know.
Well, that sounds pretty cool though.
It was pretty cool, but it's like, Jesus Christ, like I need to go back now, you know. I need to go back as like this sober, spiritually awake person. Anyway, I love travel. Traveling sober is amazing. Like I said, you remember it, so it's not a complete waste of time. And it is, leaning into that joy and following that is a huge part of it. I'm actually off to Barbados next week.
Amazing.
Which I can't wait for.
That's got to be a dream come true, going to places like that, like Barbados. That's kind of one of them places as well, where you hear about, but you don't think you're going to go. Do you know what I mean?
Well, because it's a bit mental. I'm in a new relationship, and he's booked it for my 30th. And we only met about 5 months ago. So if someone had said in 6 months, you're going to be celebrating your 30th in Barbados with the love of your life, I'd be like, what?
Oh, that's giving me goose pimples. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Happy times. So again, relationships. I mean, my God, there's no way I would have attracted, a partner as amazing as he is if I was still drinking. No way.
Yeah, thinking about that, like when we was all drinkers, even like, you're not going to meet the type of guy that just goes, should we go to Barbados for your 30th? You're like,
oh no.
In fact, I went to Blackpool with my ex for my 30th and it was shit.
I wasn't with my partner when I was 30. It was all right.
And do you know what? I got up in the morning in this crappy B&B and the guy and his and the owners were having a fight in the kitchen. That's what I mean. This is the kind of places you put yourself when you're not putting yourself first.
Well, exactly. And, your self-respect. I mean, for me anyway, talking from experience, if a man wanted to take me to Barbados on my 30th, I'd be like, ugh, how icky. But like deep down, you're actually like, I'm not worthy of that. No way. I'm going to push you away. And I'm going to attract the guy who's going to tell me that same story and like prove me right by treating me like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep on repeating that until I undo those thought patterns. And, then once you undo the thought patterns, you then begin to attract, love and real joy.
Oh, that's so amazing. I've loved speaking to you. We should do this more.
Oh, thank you. It's been, I was in my coffee shop actually just before I came on and I said it's so amazing. It's such a full circle moment because you guys were the first podcast I ever listened to when I was first exploring my relationship with alcohol. So to be here and sharing my story is a real pinch me moment. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's amazing. God, I've got proper goosebumps.
I've got goosebumps on that one. You did well there, Crystal. You hit us both.
I've not goosepimpling. The feminine side's coming out, Alex.
I just felt my feminine coming in. Have we given you opportunity to say everything and tell us everything you want to do, or is there anything you want to share or tell everybody?
No, I think that's it for now. Yeah.
You're doing amazing. Honestly, you're such an asset for Be Sober. And I know that sounds really patronising, but you really are. Like, everybody loves it and we love having you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll put my Instagram in the show notes if that's okay. If people want to follow my journey, and get involved. And thank you so much for having me.
Do you want to say what your Instagram is right now anyway, just for anybody?
Yeah, sure. So it's at I am Crystal April. Perfect.
Thank you. So, because I know if I'm listening, I'm like, I'm going to show notes. I want to do it that very second. So it's at I am Crystal April on Instagram and they can kind of get in touch with you there, can't they? And go onto your links and everything for everything else. So
that's it.
Thank you so much. Stay on afterwards. But I just want to say thank you for everything that you do for Be Sober. It is massively appreciated. Everybody loves you. You're amazing. And we feel really proud to have you as part of our team. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Oh, you're welcome. See you later. Stay on.
See you later. All right. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Maybe we just need to practice saying bye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
To stay on. So,
bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Wink, wink.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We really do appreciate your support. So to stay updated with our latest episodes, be sure to follow or subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to share the Be Sober love with your friends, helping us reach even more people.
If you're interested in learning more about the impactful work we do, or you want to become part of our incredible Be Sober community, visit our website at besoberofficial.com. There you'll find all the information you need and discover how you can get involved. We look forward to welcoming you into our community of change makers. Until next time, be brave,
be kind, and be sober.